Part 74. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 731. Yun-Chi roared anxiously. This time, I came to ask for the account, and naturally I didn't come alone. And helpers. A vicious look appeared on Yun-Chi's face. Feeling the pain from the broken arm, Yun-Chi could not wait to rush up and devour Fang Fan. But with this strong man in front of him, he didn't have the courage. Ha. Isn't your kid quite arrogant on weekdays? Why would you be so cowardly if something happened to you? Isn't it bad for you to hurt people like this? After all, Your Excellency still owes our Yun clan 500,000 contribution points. A middle-aged man walked in from the outside with a much better attitude than Yun-Chi. What I owe is Yun-Yun's contribution points. If you want to pay it back, also find her. Yun-Yun, what's going on now? Tell me. Fang Fan took a breath and stared at Yun-Yi with a calm expression. Sorry, this is my Yun clan's business, you have no right to interfere. What's more, you can't control it. You should be the man who made Yun'er miss him, right? I grew up watching Yun'er, it's just a pity. Take out 5,000 spirit crystals, let's go now. Don't bother. As Yun-Gui spoke, he tried to probe in Fang Fan's direction. Looking at his face, it was obvious that he was confident. Barren Mountain naturally would not allow any danger to approach Fang Fan, so he stretched out his hand and picked up Yun-Gui with one hand. You, what are you doing? You bastard! Let go of me, I'm doing it. Yun-Yi frantically started to attack the Barren Mountain, but what shocked him was that his attack actually had no effect. The big guy in front of me, so strong. You must know that he is a genuine 9-star king level quasi-true king level cultivation base. Now he's actually been hanged and beaten and can't fight back. Some of the doorways here, a little speculation will naturally make them all clear. The big man in front of him is at least a 10-star king level weak real king and strong. Even stronger? This young man in front of him actually controls such power. No wonder it seemed so indifferent and casual from beginning to end, I didn't take it seriously at all. With such a force in hand, there is no need to worry about others. Uncle Yun-Yi, what's the matter with you, aren't you very strong? A look of horror appeared in Yun-Chi's eyes. Even if the big guy in front of him hangs and beat him, even the few quasi-true king powerhouses in the Yun clan can subdue him so casually. This is the craziest place. Tell me. Yun-Yun's current situation. Fang Fan's patience has reached its limit. Otherwise, I'll kill you first. Fang Fan waved his hand, and Galen stepped forward and brought Yun-Chi to him. Hey, I didn't want to say it at first, but looking at you like this, I might have a little chance to save Yun'er after talking to you. Yun'er has been imprisoned by her father for embezzling 500,000 contribution points from the Yun clan. 3 days later, I will marry Tuoba Xiong, a branch of the Tuoba family. The patriarch has completely given up on Yun'er. I want to take this opportunity to maximize the value of Yun'er. After all, outside, Yun'er's reputation has been ruined. And Tuoba Xiong said he doesn't care about these things. So, Yun-Gui shook his head, touched his red rosacea, and sighed. Disputes over family interests are always so complicated. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 732. Lead the way ahead. Go to the Yun clan. Fang Fan snorted coldly and said directly. The situation is now very clear. Yun was imprisoned by the Yun clan because of his affairs. If he stood by and watched at this time, would he still be human? Fang Fan still has some admiration for this heroine Valkyrie who dares to love and hate. Not to mention other things, it is not an exaggeration to say that it is just a friend from the previous contacts. Are you sure you've made up your mind? You can deal with me easily and casually now, but when you go to the Yun clan, but not necessarily. The strength of the Yun clan is not as simple as you think. What's more, it also involves the Twaba family. Yun Gui wanted to persuade him again, but after seeing Fang Fan's indifferent eyes, he consciously shut up. The Baron guards follow me. The rest wait. Stand by. Fang Fan took a deep breath and led 1,000 Baron guards directly to the plain of Tianyuan. Today's Yun clan looks quite lively. The Cloud clan's patriarch marries a daughter. This kind of thing is naturally rare. It is also a rare happy event for the Yun clan. And this time, the object of Princess Yunyun's marriage is the young master of the Twaba family of the 8th rank power. Although I heard that the young master of the Twaba family is not very good looking, but a man pays attention to ability, and it has nothing to do with appearance. Moreover, once the Yun clan can establish a relationship with the Twaba clan, their position in the luminous sun galaxy will be more stable in the future. Yun Zonk, the head of the Cloud clan, sat on the high seat with a smile on his face. He was very satisfied with the current wedding. Although I was a little unhappy because of the rumors about my daughter a few days ago. Fortunately, there was a satisfactory answer in the end. Twaba Xiong has always been an ideal son-in-law in his mind. Although Twaba Xiong was not the master of the Twaba family, the branch he belonged to was actually quite powerful. After getting in touch with the Twaba family, you can take advantage of this opportunity to gradually grow the Yun family. At that time, the Yun clan may be able to get a promotion opportunity in his hands. If the Yun clan can be promoted to an 8th rank force, then he will be the most accomplished patriarch in the history of the Yun clan. Such thoughts frantically attacked Yun Zonk, the head of the Cloud clan, and made him deeply immersed in it, unable to extricate himself. Start salute. Yun was forced to be pushed out of the room. Her eyes were full of tears. She could not imagine that her most beloved father would do such a thing. Force her to do what she doesn't want to do. Are those tender feelings in the past all fake? Does their affection for each other seem so cheap? Yun's heart seemed very quiet. Dad. Let go of my sister. If my sister doesn't want to, don't force her. A little girl wearing a dark green gauze skirt rushed over and cried, trying to change the will of the Cloud clan chief. Pull her down to me. Don't stay in the room. What are you doing here? The bones are not good. Do you still want to stay here and toss people? My Yun clan doesn't have so many treasures of heaven and earth to support you. Yun Zonk said indifferently, then waved his hand, and directly asked the guard to forcibly pull the little girl in the dark green gauze away. Yunur, you should know that only when you marry into the Twaba family can Xiao Xiao continuously obtain all kinds of treasures from heaven and earth to nurture her body. Otherwise, I'll cut off her supplies today. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 733. Yun Zonk's eyes were fierce and ruthless. Unbelievable, this is what a father said. Yun took a deep breath, and the hot tears in her eyes couldn't stop. He, really changed. It is no longer the lion who opened his arms to protect their sisters. At this moment, he seems to have become a crazy eagle, madly catching all the food that can be eaten. Okay. Let's start salute. Don't waste time. Yun Zonk waved his hand. His face was indifferent, as if he didn't care about everything. Beside Yun, there is a muscular man with muscle pimples all over his body. The skin is extremely dark and rough, and there are various black acne tumors on the face, which looks terrible. Yun gritted her teeth. From now on, she will spend her life with such a man? What is the meaning and value of such a life? At this moment, Yun really wants to end her life like this. but when she thought of her own sister, she restrained her impulse again. At this moment, inexplicably, a figure of a young man who often shows a bad smile and doesn't seem to take everything seriously appears in her mind. If he was there, how wonderful it would be. Salute. And many more. I didn't even come. What salute? At a critical moment, Fang Fan descended from the sky with 1,000 barren guards, and looked at the people in the mansion coldly. Who are you? Dare to disturb my Yun clan? Yun Zong glanced at Fang Fan and the barren guards behind him, with an indifferent look on his face. Obviously, the Comer is not good. Patriarch, Patriarch save me. Yun Chi, who just lost an arm, has endured all the way. After all, Fang Fan's strong posture made him unable to resist, and even his greatest support, Yun Gui, who was in the quasi-true king realm, was directly captured. But back to the Yun clan, it was different. This is the territory of the Yun clan, he can fly freely. Patriarch. Quick, kill this guy. He is Yun Yun's adulterer. Seeing that she had escaped Fang Fan's control, Yun Yun immediately looked happy and began to complain unscrupulously. Fang Fan never took this little scoundrel in his eyes, and he really wasn't going to kill him. It's just that this guy seems to have no idea, he has to die. In this case, Fang Fan can only fulfill him. Cut. Fang Fan snorted lightly. Baron Mountain's giant axe had already shot, and directly cut Yun Chi into 2 pieces. One of them stayed in place, and the other rushed out due to inertia, hitting the Cloud Clan chief Yun Zong's feet. Bastard! Damn things! You dare to kill people in my Yun clan? Who the hell are you? Yun Zong clenched his hands tightly and glared at Fang Fan fiercely. It didn't take a direct shot for a while. He was still quite sensible at the moment. After all, Fang Fan had such a powerful guard by his side, and he was afraid of what kind of strong background Fang Fan had. Tisk. It doesn't matter who I am. The key is, Yun Yun gets married, it won't work without my permission. Fang Fan waved at Yun Yun with a smile on his face. Yun Yun looked at Fang Fan. For some reason, that heart suddenly fell. He is finally here. He still cares about himself. Yun Yun's feet began to move unnaturally, and then she tried her best to run towards Fang Fan. Tears have already filled my eyes. This was the first time Fang Fan had seen the Valkyrie on the battlefield cry. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 734. Yun Yun cried very sad and lonely. I'm late. With me, leave everything to me. Fang Fan sighed, and gently took Yun Yun into his arms. At this moment, his heart is peaceful. The more it shows that a strong woman needs more care. I'm rubbing, what kind of way is this? Why can't I understand it? You're stupid. This is clearly the man outside Princess Yun Yun who came to grab the kiss. Hey, I heard before that Princess Yun Yun used the family's contribution points because of a man. I thought it was a rumor. I didn't expect it to be true. Haha, there's no reason to believe that. This guy, I'm afraid it's the man who has always had an affair with Princess Yun Yun. Tisk, this melon is so sweet. The head of the Cloud Clan's haka has turned dark. Ha ha ha, black is good. Didn't he just want to stabilize the status of the Yun clan by marrying the Tuoba family? He, maybe in the future, he wants to use the power of the Tuoba family to kill us. If it can really ruin this marriage, that would be a good thing. This young man doesn't seem to be a good stalker. He killed Yun Chi, a genius of the Yun clan, on the spot. Looks like he wants to make a comeback. I don't know, anyway, let's just stay here and watch, don't worry about anything. I feel that this young man may suffer. This is not only about the Yun clan, but also involves the Tuoba clan. The crowd of melon eaters began to gather together and babble, looking very excited. Originally, they were also forced to come over to express their blessings, and they knew whether they were happy or not. Now that I have encountered such a thing suddenly, it is too late to be excited. Yunzong took a few deep breaths, his eyes burning with anger. Shame. Disgraceful and lost home. This old face is completely gone. My daughter's wedding scene was actually robbed. The most important thing is that your daughter still seems willing. It made him seem to be rushing to marry his daughter to the Tuoba family. And it is indeed so. Where is the cloud guard? Kill these madmen out? Not a single one. The killing light in Yunzong's eyes suddenly appeared, and he directly used the authority of the patriarch to order. Swoosh swish. Brush brush. Teams of cloud elite practitioners rushed over. Each of them is at least 5-star king realm or above. There are also thousands of scales. Kill. Following Yunzong's order, the Yun clan frantically launched attacks on these cultivators. Fang Fan stood aside with his arms around Yun Yun, and then waved his hand indifferently. The Baron guards, led by Baron Mountain and Baron Rui, began to counter-attack one. Battle. Fight. Fight. The Desolate clan, known as the strongest fighting clan. It used to be the third largest force that was comparable to the light and dark factions. Although it is depressed now, the arrogance in the bones is thrown. 1 against 10. No mess at all. Injured, use a king-level healing card. Fang Fan has already distributed 100 cards of this kind of cards to everyone. It's not bad for this small amount of money, just use it. The weapons in his hand are also drawn by Fang Fan from various high-level rare weapon cards, which are unstoppable. The battle, into the heat. In addition, there is Baron Mountain, a 10-star king-level strong and true king-level powerhouse, to support at any time. The outcome of the battle is already obvious. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 735. Thousands of Cloud Elite practitioners were quickly intercepted into a ball. The scale of victory has always been on Fang Fan's side. Who the hell are these people? It's like fighting, it's like they won't die. Huh, it's too fierce. It seems that the Yun clan really hit a hard bone this time. Haha, that's what they've done for themselves, who let them kill themselves. It's just, if you want to curry favor with the Tuoba family, how can you do it without paying a price? This young man and Princess Yun Yun of the Yun clan seem to be in love with each other. As for the others, they are just playing the piano. Huh, I'm afraid even the Cloud Clan chief Yunzong never thought that the man Princess Yun Yun was looking for outside had such a powerful force. Hee, I just didn't think he would regret it in his heart. Opinions vary. Yunzong's eyes are like falcons, and they instantly shudder. He glared at Fang Fan fiercely, and then glanced at the defeated Yun clan cultivator with a shocking look in his eyes. The Desolate War Slaves. You can actually train the Baron War Slaves so well. Young man. You really have some strength. But today, there is Tuoba's family here. You must die. It doesn't matter if you hit me in the face of the Yun clan, the patriarch can ignore you, but the Tuoba clan won't talk like me. Yunzong suddenly changed another kind of rhetoric, and in the words, there was a kind of generous and tolerant mind. In fact, anyone with a discerning eye can see that the show is too fake. Standing on the side like a lion, Tuoba Xiong couldn't help but have a look of contempt on his face. Sure enough, it's an old fox. If you want to save the elite of the Yun clan, use my Tuoba family as a target. Haha, but it doesn't matter. It's just a jumping clown. Dare to snatch Yun Yun from me, it's just beyond your own power. Tuoba Xiong snorted softly and strode out. I don't care which force you are from, today you disturb my wedding, you will die. And because of you, I will torture this woman as much as I like tonight. Because, I enjoy this pleasure. I don't want to kill you now. I want to imprison you and put you in an iron cage. How about adding fun to my wedding with Yunyun at night? I think this would be a great idea. The evil-faced Twabasyong came over, beating the muscles in his chest, his face hurt showing endless cruelty. I am CAO. In this world, there is such an ugly guy. You are too embarrassed to marry Yunyun with this face. Why don't you go pee and take a look at yourself? If I looked like you, I would have committed suicide by swinging a knife. Or, swinging a knife from the palace is better than this. Fang Fansu came from a person who believed that he was an elegant person. But this time I couldn't help it. This guy looks, it's too sloppy. I don't know if it's a sarcoma or something on the face is covered. Large and small, the distribution is uneven. If people with intensive phobia watch it, they are easy to hold their hearts and tangle to death. Even Fang Fan had the urge to cut off all these pimples on his face. Looking at it like this, it's really disgusting. Fang Fan snorted lightly, he was telling the truth. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 736. Asshole. I hate when people say I'm ugly. You offended my inverse scale. I will destroy your entire clan. Guardian of the Twaba family. Kill me. Kill him. Kill all these people for me. Not a single one. Swoosh swish. About a dozen cultivators in uniform rushed out. As the Twaba family of the 8th rank forces, their background is still good. At least the dozen or so cultivators who flew over were all above the 8-star king realm. There are also 3 or 4 9-star king level quasi-true kings. Even, the leader of the cultivator is actually a 10-star king level weak real king. In the face of these dozen or so enemies, Barren Mountain rushed out. Barren Mountain is the cultivation base of the strong real king, and it is a powerful existence that understands the power of the entire law of destruction. It is incomparable with these weak true kings and quasi-true kings. From the quasi-true king to the weak true king, to the strong true king. Level 1 is stronger than level 1. The Barren Mountain holding a giant axe rushed out like a god of war. Start your sweeping journey on the battlefield. Click. Clack clack. 3 minutes. The battle is over. The dozen or so Twaba cultivators were all beheaded except for a few who escaped in bad circumstances. Including the weak and true king. Silence. Full silence. Everyone's eyes were focused, and there was an expression of disbelief on their faces. It's hard to believe, it's actually true. This is beyond a certain limit. All I can say is, it's too strong. Strong in its own strong in the hand. Hanging and beating everything is not negotiable. Hiss. Follow this trend, Yun clan, it's going to be cool. Those elite cultivators of the Twaba clan were crushed, let alone others. It's justified, that's the reason. Yun Zonk really got it wrong this time. This young man doesn't seem to be very strong, but the background he possesses is unfathomable. I doubt his identity. Could it be the descendant of a big figure in the Holy Sky Alliance? Tisk, so, it's really possible. I heard that the Holy Heaven Alliance seems to have an illegitimate child outside. Well, not necessarily. There are too many scandals about the big figures in the Holy Sky Alliance. I don't know which one is true and which one is fake. Anyway, no matter what, this boy, it's not that simple. You dare to kill my Twaba cultivator. Do you know what you are doing? I'll give you a chance, kneel down and beg for mercy, and I may be able to let you go. Twabasyong's eyes flashed fiercely, and he said this, and suddenly a blood mist flashed around him. Kill. Fang Fan said indifferently, the giant axe in Barren Mountain's hand has been thrown out as a flying axe. Click. Kajin directly cut off Tuobasyong's legs. What? Ah, I'll be back again. Tuobasyong's figure disappeared into the hall, leaving only a pair of amputated thighs. Yunzong took a breath and naturally couldn't sit still at this moment. Among the cultivators of the Tuoba clan just now, there was a 10-star king level weak real king level strong. He belongs to the same level as him, and even because he is from the Tuoba family, his combat power is even stronger than him. But he was killed without any suspense. Then if he chooses to resist, wouldn't he also die? Yuner, Daddy was joking with you just now. Daddy is also doing it for your own good. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 737. A good word for you. A sarcastic smile appeared on the corner of Yunyun's mouth. She turned her head silently, not wanting to say a word. Sister, you're all right? It's great. A little girl of 15 or 16 years old came running from a distance, wearing a dark green gauze skirt, with an excited look on her face. That is, when she saw this little girl, the corner of Yunyun's mouth could show a smile. Thank you, big brother. Yun Xiaoxiao looked a little weak, and after running a few steps, he began to pant, and his face turned a little red. Fang Fan nodded. This should be the sister Yun mentioned to him before, who was too close to the aura, right? The sky has no eyes, leaving the angels to live in the world. Trust me. Fang Fan suddenly looked at Yun sincerely, and then glanced at Yun Xiaoxiao who had been holding onto Yun's clothes. Obviously, she's still a little nervous. Yun nodded solemnly, her eyes flashing with hope. I want to take you away, will you? Fang Fan took Yun's hand and his eyes became more and more earnest. It is good. Yun didn't speak much, but Fang Fan already knew what she meant. As for the little girl named Yun Xiaoxiao, she obviously wanted to stay by Yun's side all the time. Give you two choices. First, I owe you 500,000 contribution points from the Yun clan, and I will give you 10,000 spirit crystals. From now on, Yun and this little girl have nothing to do with the Yun clan. Fang Fan looked at Yun Zonk, the head of the Cloud clan, indifferently. According to Fang Fan's original will, he wanted to kill them all at one time. But Yun stopped him. After all, this is her father. Is it a bit too domineering for you to say that, after all, this is my daughter? If you really like Yuner, you can freely marry me. I just don't know which force you are from. Yunzong suddenly looked at Fang Fan with a smile on his face. It was very obvious what he wanted to express at this moment. This is a shameless guy. I wanted to curry favor with the Tuoba family before, I would not hesitate to marry Yun to that ugly Tuobasyong. Now that Fang Fan seems to have a promising future, he wants to curry favor with Fang Fan. I'm not discussing with you. I'm letting you make a choice. First, as I said before, with 10,000 spirit crystals, Yun and Yun Xiaoxiao have nothing to do with the Yun clan. What about the second one? Yun Zonk asked subconsciously. It's a good thing to be able to fight for more benefits now that things are going so far. The second, I slaughtered the entire Yun clan. This way, there will be no trouble. Fang Fan grinned, and Yun Zonk took a step back subconsciously. This smile, it's really scary. Although he really wanted to refute Fang Fan's words, Yun Zonk didn't know where to start. Because Fang Fan's words are arrogant, but he has to admit that they do have such abilities. In this way, many choices are actually extremely compressed. Where is the choice in this place? It is clearly forcing. You only have 10 seconds to choose. In 10 seconds, I will start the massacre. At that time, I'm afraid it will be difficult to stop. Fang Fan glanced at Yun Zonk with contempt. If any of the power lords were threatened like this, they would have chosen to fight for their lives long ago. If this guy can really achieve this level, Fang Fan can still give him a high look. But obviously, this is a weak, decadent guy. It's always been that way, it's never changed. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 738. I choose, the first. Yun Zong took a deep breath, the blue veins on his forehead burst, and he slowly suppressed it. Anger is useless, and you can't beat others. A day later, the Orc Plain, the residence of the Emperor's Palace, the small world of Shushan Pavilion. Fang Fan, thank you. If it wasn't for you this time, I don't even know what to do. Yun bit her lips tightly, and there was a hint of sadness in her eyes. But soon, she recovered from this emotion and gradually became wonderful. Fang Fan seems to have seen the heroic Valkyrie of the past again. Big brother. I love the world here. Here, Xiao Xiao doesn't suffer at all. At this moment, Fang Fan and others are in the Shushan Pavilion. The reason why I came here is mainly to help Yun's younger sister, the girl named Yun Xiao Xiao in front of her, to heal her illness. She is too sensitive to Reiki. Feeling the spiritual energy a little, the whole body is like an electric shock, and the pain is crazy. When in the outside world, if you can suppress it with some heaven and earth treasures, you can also help repair your body. If there is no heaven and earth treasure, her body would have been directly destroyed. This was the first time Fang Fan had seen such a physique, and it was truly appalling. The existence of Tiankadabeo has indeed repaired Xiaoxio's body to a certain extent, but it is clear that this method can only temporarily suppress. Treasures from heaven and earth are indeed good things, but for Xiao Xiao at this moment, it is no different from poison. It's not good for her body if you use it too much. Actually, it should have been dredged long ago. If the spiritual energy gathered in her body is dredged, Xiaoxio's cultivation talent will be terrifying. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and explained from the side. A pair of eyes have also been focused on Yun Xiao Xiao, looking for a solution. In the world of Shushan Pavilion, Fang Fan is the invincible god of creation. He wants to create a small empty space without spiritual energy, which is naturally not a big problem. Because there is no spiritual energy, Yun Xiao Xiao can feel happiness. However, Fang Fan can clearly feel that Yun Xiaoxio's body is aging little by little due to the lack of nourishment from spiritual energy. Maybe it won't be long before this young and beautiful little girl will turn into a cup of dry bones. Fang Fan can feel this, and Yun can naturally find it. At this moment, Yun's widow's eyes are full of worry and sadness. It's not enough to touch the aura, and it's not enough to not touch the aura. Too difficult. Fang Fan, is there any other way? Yun looked at Fang Fan expectantly. It's not like there's no way. It's just that Xiao Xiao needs to change her beliefs. Choose to believe in origami. I can cast a spell on her once, and maybe I can change her physique. Fang Fan sighed secretly, this is also no way. He was going to spend a chance to use the blessing of the wild god magical skill to wash Yun Xiaoxio's body with the power of faith, so that he might be able to change. However, it is just an attempt at the moment, and whether it will succeed or not is still unknown. Believe in wild gods. Convert faith. What is origami? But I hate those gods by nature. Yun Xiao pursed her lips and blushed, she was really cute. It's true, Xiao seems to be at odds with the gods. As soon as she sees those temples, she may not be able to control her desire to explode. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 739. Yun Yun shrugged helplessly. She was also very surprised by this kind of thing, but it was just so strange. Fang Fan pondered slightly. Xiaoxio's physique is indeed a little too different. Too close to the aura? Repel the gods again? Could it be that in the last life, I was tricked by those true gods? Fang Fan shook his head, removed these unrealistic thoughts from his mind, and then looked at Yun Xiaoxiao with a serious face. It's okay to be at odds with the gods. You can think of it this way: the origami is me, and I am the origami. Do you hate brother? Fang Fan chuckled softly and looked at Yun Xiaoxiao gently. No. I like my brother. Yun Xiaoxiao blinked her cute big eyes, her face flushed slightly. Isn't that enough? Since you like your brother, then let you become your brother's believer. Is there a problem? Fang Fan followed the lead again. No problem. Okay then. And this wild god seems to be the god I hate the least. Yun Xiaoxiao blinked, and suddenly said this. Ding. Pan-believers add 1. Ding. The host has successfully recruited a god-slaying spirit body to become a wild god follower. The maximum number of gods in the gods is permanently add 1. Believers' belief support add 20%. The success rate of assimilating other gods' believers add 50%. Wild god believers are assimilated by other gods' believers 50% less likely. A series of system sounds suddenly came, making Fang Fan a little confused. Slaughter the spirit body? What physique is this? No wonder the gods don't catch a cold. The name of this spirit body is very awesome. Slaughter the gods at any time, arrogant and boundless. And, Xiaoxio's appearance seems to have unexpected surprises. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and the smile on his face gradually became longer. The upper limit of the number of sub-shrines of the gods is permanently add 1. This means that only 2 sub-shrines can be built in the 9th rank gods of the gods, but now 3 can be established. There is also a add 20% belief support for believers. This reward is the most applicable, which means that the power of belief that Fang Fan gets every day will increase by 20%. For example, a 10th level mad believer can increase the power of faith by 100 threads a day, and now it can increase by 120 threads. As for the last 2 additional rewards, the meaning is probably, it is easier for the temple of the wild god to snatch believers. It is even more difficult for other temples to fool the believers of the wild god. The 4 rewards can be said to be applicable. Fang Fan's smile became more and more. Brother Fan, what's the matter with you? Why are you laughing so wickedly? Xiaoxiao blinked and waved her tender fingers in front of Fang Fan. Along the way, I wiped the corner of Fang Fan's mouth. For it. Shame. Fang Fan's face turned red. I was caught in the sudden reward of the dog system just now, and I couldn't extricate myself, so, I'm a little confused. The process of things probably progressed almost. Fang Fan couldn't help but admire himself. Being able to turn a god-slaughtering spirit body into a wild god believer, this is nothing short of a miracle. Even if it's just a pan-believer, that's pretty cool. It's just a pity, if you use the magical skill Origami's gift on pan-believers, you can only absorb 1/10 of it. But now Fang Fan doesn't care about that loss. The existence of Yun Xiaoxiao will be able to raise the strength of the desolate god temple by several levels. It can also greatly improve Fang Fan's harvest. This is simply a treasure. It just so happens that the 1-month cooldown for Origami's gift is here. Open the altar to cast. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 740. The Gift of the Wild God. Fang Fan snorted lightly, his eyes twinkling brightly. I saw a white light start pouring in from the top of Yun Xiaoxio's head. It began to hit her body frantically. What? Yun Xiaoxiao suddenly let out a shrill cry, and then hugged Fang Fan tightly, with extreme pain in his eyes. Fang Fan, how could this happen? Xiaoxiao, she'll be alright. An anxious look appeared on Yun Yun's face. Her love for Xiaoxiao was naturally incomparable sincerity. In this situation, Fang Fan is also very confused. Gift of the arrogant, it's not like he hasn't used this magical skill before, it's been quite normal all along. How did it suddenly become like this? Fang Fan took a deep breath and secretly said, is he thinking in the wrong direction? Boom. Suddenly, the spiritual energy in Shushan Pavilion surged towards the place where Yun Xiaoxiao was, directly breaking through the vacuum belt that Fang Fan had set up before. And then eagerly entered her body. Fang Fan wanted to create another vacuum belt, but a faint smile suddenly appeared on Xiaoxiao's face. It seemed that the impact of this spiritual force made her feel very comfortable. Xiaoxiao hated Reiki the most. How could this happen? Yun Yun covered her mouth with a look of surprise. Fang Fan smiled bitterly, you ask me, who am I to ask? Your face is stunned, and I am also stunned. Perhaps, the power of faith has dried out a key part of her body? Then she can absorb the spiritual energy. Fang Fan pondered slightly, but it was always a good thing. Ding. Activating the slaughter spirit body, please continue to input the power of faith. Ding. Activate 1%. Ding. Activate 1.01%. Ding, the power of belief is insufficient, please continue to input. The sound of the dog's system suddenly came from his ear. Fang Fan almost choked to death. Are you kidding me? The power of faith entered just now is at least 100,000 threads. Just do it? Fang Fan thought about it for a while, and then entered the power of 100,000 threads of faith. Because of the joining of the desolate clan, Fang Fan now seems to have become a small local tyrant. Every day, the power of faith provided by the Baron tribe alone is more than 100,000. So keep going. Ding. 1.02% activation of the slaughtering spirit body. Ding. The power of faith is insufficient, please continue to enter. When Fang Fan put all the power of faith in his body, the activated progress bar finally climbed to the 1.1% position. Fang Fan resisted the urge to vomit blood. According to the 0.01% progress bar calculated in this way, it takes 100,000 threads of faith. 0.1%, need the power of millions of faith? 1%, that's 10 million beliefs. If you want to activate 100%, don't you need the power of a billion threads of faith? Fang Fan said, he is very poor. He has so little faith in him, he can't hurt him. In the end, the activation process could only be ended hastily. However, it seems that although only 1.1% of the slaughtering spirit body is activated, Xiaoxiao's body seems to have been greatly changed. At least at this moment, it will not be so painful to absorb these spiritual energy. Not only is it not painful, but it also looks like you are enjoying it. As for the cultivation base, it is also increasing wildly. The original Yun Xiaoxiao was only the lowest level 1-star awakened. And now, 2-star awakened, 3-star, 9-star, 10-star. 1-star King Realm, 2-star King Realm, 9-star King Grade Quasi True King Realm.